Hey guys, it's Tarot and Beyond. So I was just sitting down, chilling at the end of the night, and I heard there's a portal opening. Really, really loud and really clear from spirit. And I just felt this urge to jump on and do a reading, which hasn't happened in a while. So we are going to find out what this portal is that is opening, what it means for you, maybe even what triggered it, and where it's leading potentially as well. So it will be a pick a card reading today. I've been doing the collectives lately, but I asked Spirit whether we should just do a collective read on this one or pick a card. They said pick a card, so that's what we gonna do. We have group 1, group 2, and group 3. And if you feel drawn to more than one, there may just be multiple messages for you, or there could be multiple aspects to this portal, or multiple portals even. So use your intuition to guide you. Take the messages from within the readings that resonate and leave the rest, as these are general. And you can use the timestamps below or the chapters to jump ahead to your chosen reading or readings, and we'll see you there. All right. Hi, group number 1. Welcome to your reading. Let's find out what portal is opening for you. Before I jump into the cards, I'm just getting this intuitive prompt to receive some channeled messages for you. I'm hearing this shift is a return. It's like a cycle they're showing me. So you're kind of like cycling back on something, maybe something that you moved away from in the past. Yeah, it's an entry point and a return point somehow, because it's looped in on itself. But there's alternate options in this portal. So there's something that you've deleted out of your life, something that you've recently gotten rid of, and you made the command to do this, or you used your free will basically to say no. I'm seeing return to sender. Okay, so maybe somebody tried to send you something, or they tried to reach out to you and you deleted or blocked or sent something back, or it could be energetically something tried to come your way and you just commanded it out of your space, you deleted it out of your reality, and this is what's creating the shift. Even though it's like a cycle that's kind of moving in this cyclical pattern, it's not like you're going in a revolving door, spinning in space, or just kind of like going in circles. That's not the energy they're giving me. It is an advancement, or it is a movement forward, but it can feel kind of like you're going or you're sticking in one place. But they keep saying that there's going to be options. So that's kind of what I want to look at here. What are the options that are opening up for group number 1 in regard to this portal? Whoa, okay. The Death card, number 13, the Lord of Shadows. That Luna moth is really standing out to me. That could be an animal spirit guide that's working with you right now. Yeah, I was getting this very strong deletion energy, like something is being removed from your life distinctly because you have commanded it to be so. So you've put a significant end to something here. And even though this portal is opening and it's kind of going in a circle, you are not returning to where you used to be. I just saw 222. So this could be to do with relationships. Okay, that wants to be here. The Oak King, that's the Hanged Man. Yeah, see that circle with the infinity sign? It feels like, and 13 and 12, it's going backwards. Yeah, but it's like you're not going backwards. You're just kind of like retracing your steps to understand something, or you needed, perhaps could be past tense, like you needed to return to something from the past to be able to finalize it. I'm hearing finalize it and take your power back. Oh. And I'm hearing full circle. Yeah, it's coming full circle now because you understood it. It does feel like you've exited out of a karmic cycle, group 1. That's what I'm getting. The High Priest, holy crap. That's the Hierophant, but you have all 3 cards so far are major arcana. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I was just sitting on the couch watching New Girl, and all of a sudden Spirit's like, a portal is opening. And I'm like, oh crap, we better do a reading. Because, yeah, I saw 333 when I was saying that. Because this is big energy. It's very big energy. And their immediacy, the immediacy to it was like strong, strong, strong. So the High Priest energy, you have learned the lesson, group number 1. Point blank period. You have learned the lesson. You're done. The light is shining on this new day. There's a whole new cycle that is opening up for you, something that is going to get you out of a stuck situation that you felt like. I feel like this cycle or this portal was going in circles for a while. Yeah, like you were kind of backtracking and then redoing and then backtracking and redoing. Kind of feels like getting stuck on a level. And I actually had a synchronicity come up about this before earlier today. I think it was the Venusian Light Tarot. She was talking about something like that. And it was from one of her readings from like 3 months ago. And I had recently had that happen. I was playing Cupcake Crush or whatever, and I got stuck on a level for a while and I got real frustrated with it. So I put it down and then I came back to it and I beat it again. I beat it and I was able to move forward. So it feels like maybe this was something that you needed to take some time away from and then return to so that you could shift this pattern, so that you could finally understand what you needed to do to learn the lesson, to move beyond whatever this was. The Three of Pentacles. I know that's a heron, but I was actually seeing and hearing the word stork. And since you have the Death card and the stork can represent birth, yeah, this is what I'm saying. It's like a death and rebirth cycle. It's a never-ending loop. The Three of Pentacles here, it feels like you're going to have three options that are opening up to you here. I'm hearing near future, okay. And three obstacles that you were previously, yeah, look at the 3 stones here, 3 stones here. The 3 obstacles that you may have felt were difficult to overcome are going to become, they're actually showing me boulders breaking into dust. Okay, yeah, so your power is going to be on 100. Yeah, 555. I don't mean to do this. I'm paying attention to what I'm doing down here. I'm channeling, I'm looking into my mind's eye, and then all of a sudden intuitively I look up and it's like 333, 555, 222. So this is an indicator, a signal of alignment. Obviously each number has meaning in and of itself, but when you see lots of chunks of them like that, it's just saying, you're in alignment and this is the coding to unlock the new portal that you're moving into, to clear and blast away those rocks that were basically representing obstacles. The Witch. This is the Magician. It's the beginning of a new cycle, but I'm getting the fact that you have commanded this. I just keep seeing and hearing the word command, like you have commanded this into being. And that's why it's powerful, because you're not like making do, is what I just heard. You're not settling, or you're not staying in the same, I'm hearing status quo, what used to be normal for you. And you kind of had to go back on it around one more time to really get the hang of it, to get out of it, to get unstuck, to let something go fully, to integrate the lesson. I'm hearing integrate the lesson. And you have the Green Man, the Fool card. So out of 6 cards so far, 5 of them are major arcana. This is what I'm saying. Like, this is a huge shift. This is a very big part in your journey. And there's multiple aspects to it that you're learning through. So it's not just like one lesson that you've learned with this cycle. It feels like multiple lessons. And if I had to say which ones they are, we'll get more cards in a second, but I would say you learned lessons about death and endings and change and embracing, or I'm hearing radical. Okay, something about like radical shifts and changes, being able to accept those. You learned lessons about how to let go of control, or what you need to sacrifice to gain something else. I'm also seeing that you learned lessons about patience and perspective. I'm hearing giving up what you want most to get what you deserve. What? Giving up what you want most to get what you deserve. Okay. The High Priest here, you learned how to work your magic, and the Witch here, both of them are talking about working your magic through connection to yourself is really the deeper core of this that I'm feeling. And then the Green Man, you learned to embrace the shifts and changes. You learned to adapt, basically. adapt and be adaptable as you continue to move through life, not getting attached to any one thing or person or idea of yourself, I'm hearing, and being able to flow with the natural rhythm of your own evolution. This is huge, group number one. Like, this is really big. This is really, really big. The Eight of Wands. Okay, so I'm seeing harvest, like she's got all her tools out and she's harvesting these wildflowers. So I feel like you're harvesting, or you're about to harvest something. And it feels like you've put the effort in through breaking the karmic loop. I'm hearing, they're showing me the necklace. So something about the throat or the heart chakra could be significant here. Or a necklace. I'm hearing making a new one. And they're showing me a necklace being ripped off or broken and then making yourself a new one. I don't know if that's literal or if that's symbolic of getting rid of this old thing that was kind of like a chain around your neck and then creating something that's more aligned with you. The battle wagon, the chariot card. So many majors, so many major arcanas. Now is the time for movement, okay? It's like, it's go time. Because it feels like part of this cycle was being stuck at that level. So even though you were moving, you weren't actually progressing as much as you would have liked to, because you were kind of cycling back on the same lesson. So the example, again, that's coming to mind is when I'm playing Cupcake Crush or whatever, and I'm stuck on that level, and I'm still playing the game, so I'm still active, I'm still involved, I'm still using my free will, but I'm not advancing. That's the thing. It's like it still may have felt like movement, but there was an underlying frustration or feeling of stuckness. And I'm actually going to do a whole other reading on stuckness, because on the member side of the channel for the week ahead reading that I just posted today, I asked for topics and somebody mentioned that they would like a reading on how to get unstuck. And I was like, that's perfect. Let's do that. So since it's coming up here in your reading as well, group one, stay tuned for that if it resonates. I'll probably try to have that out later this week. So there's movement here, and not just this like continual cycle of movement. It's like full on forward progression. I'm hearing freedom. Four of Wands. And there's the harvest again. So I did just hear reaping what you've sown, or reaping what you sow. This is heavily, heavily karmic. So if you've been sowing seeds of spiritual enlightenment, I'm hearing, okay, spiritual enlightenment, love, personal power, freedom, autonomy, honoring the process for yourself, detaching from other people's expectations, I'm hearing, and really honoring yourself and your own process. This is what you're going to get back. Like, you're going to get more, I guess, time or energy or support, whatever it is that you need. You're going to get more of that, because that's what you've been investing into yourself. It's what goes around comes around. In this case, the cause and effect is that you've taken those actions, you've commanded those things into being, and they will return to you. They will enter your life. And you have the world tree, the world card. Yeah, I was seeing that, like, from the very beginning when they told me just tune in and channel, I was seeing this cycle, and it was reminding me of the world card, how things come full circle. I even think I said that phrase literally. So I'm not surprised at all to see that here. It's confirmation of what Spirit was showing me. So you're getting free because you're able to come full circle on this thing, this lesson, the Moon card. It's not clear yet what is coming out of this, like what you're moving into. It is mysterious. It is hidden. It is not clear yet, only because you haven't seen it yet. I don't know why they're giving me this message. The Two of Pentacles is on the bottom. You haven't seen it yet. What have you not seen? What have you not seen? I'm just going to pop that there while I think about this. It feels like you haven't seen the true depths of your soul yet. like you've kind of only seen the outside of it. They just showed me the outside of the barn. Like you haven't gone inside yet, or the house you've been building, you haven't gone inside yet. Yeah, so whatever karmically you've been investing in, you haven't seen. I just heard you ain't seen nothing yet, kid. That's what I heard. You ain't seen nothing yet, kid. So you've barely scratched the surface. And this is going to be big, transformational. I'm also hearing healing. It's going to be healing. So being able to experience more and to continue to move forward is healing, because it feels like a part of your soul was frustrated just as much as your ego was. Okay, so like let me kind of break this down for you. Sometimes the ego will get frustrated when the soul is content with what's happening, but sometimes not. In this case, what I'm hearing is that your ego was frustrated and your soul was frustrated, which indicates again that like you were outgrowing this pattern already, and it was just a matter of time. You just kind of had to keep going through it again and again and again with a fine-tooth comb. They're showing me like one of those like really densely packed combs. Ew, yeah, those are actually used to like get lice out of hair. Ooh, yeah, so you may have had to like do some parasite removal, or like energetic parasites needed to be deleted. People could have been, or just whatever. But it's like you had to go through this pattern so many times because you needed to understand the intricacies of it, or the ins and out of it, to finally get it. And then the breakthrough comes, and then it's like, oh, this is brand new territory. I've never been here before. And your soul's really excited, but your ego is a little bit like, cautious, I want to say, wary of what comes next, because you've not been there before. You're like excited that you're on a new level, but you're like, uh-oh, is it going to be harder? No, I don't think so, because you haven't even fully tapped into the power of your soul yet. Like the way they're showing it to me, it's like this was kind of barring you a bit, and it was frustrating the soul, and it was kind of constricting the soul for a time. But now you're about to dive a little deeper, and even though things might feel mysterious, or at the very least unknown, like you're stepping into the unknown, but it's going to be an exploration. I'm also hearing the word adventure. Both of those things could be involved here, because there is some fast movement and some new beginnings that are taking place that you've manifested. There may be opportunities to move when it comes to your work, to shift and adapt. Could be traveling physically, getting out into the world more, expanding your horizons. That's a theme that's been coming up in several readings lately, I've noticed. Being able to, yes, I think face your fears, but not in the way that you had to with that previous cycle. Like the previous cycle really challenged you with, again, they're giving me expectations. I'm hearing something about expectations. I don't know how this applies, like whether it was your expectations that were unfulfilled, or other people's expectations of you that you felt like you couldn't live up to, or that weren't accurate, or something like that. All they're giving me is the word expectations. And energetically, it kind of feels like frustration. I don't know how else to describe it. It's like I'm frustrated that there's these expectations, either that are not being met by me or by someone else projecting onto me. But ultimately, what's happening now is that they're showing me somebody doing this on a table. Like, oh my God, I almost had the impulsive urge to do that on this table, but I have so much nice stuff here. I'm not going to break my stuff. But you know, when somebody like does that on a table and like just clears the whole table, usually it's like preamble for sexy time. But in this case, it was like, just get everything out of here. It was this impulsive like cleaning of the slate, like full clear, kind of like aggressively clearing the slate, but it's cathartic. It's the release that you needed, basically. It's the release that you needed. And that I'm seeing is opening the door, opening the portal, because that's what portals are. They're just doors into new territories. And I think that's what that barn represents here in the Two of Pentacles. It's like you are stepping through the door onto the inside of this barn that you've constructed, this barn of this new reality or this new cycle or this new level of your spiritual evolution. What's in the barn? I don't know. I can't tell you, because you have to discover that for yourself. You have to look inside. They're telling me you have to look inside. They did just say curiosity killed the cat. What? Okay, hold on. Let me sit with that for a sec. Oh, okay. So I'm sitting there. I had a sip of my coffee. I'm thinking about things. I'm like, what does this mean? Curiosity killed the cat. Because it doesn't feel like, don't let your curiosity move you through the portal. No. The opposite. You're supposed to move through that portal. You're supposed to see what's inside. The curiosity is a good thing. They took me to the Fool card. And there's the dog warning the fool not to fall off the cliff. Okay, so there was that. And then they took me to the Lord of Shadows, the death card. And then they said cats have 9 lives. Okay, so how I'm kind of piecing that together here is that your curiosity in the past may have put you in positions that were, I'm hearing the word damaging, that were damaging for you in some way. And then you kind of kept doing that. And I'm hearing violation. Okay. All right. I'm going to just kind of sidestep that for a second, because I was also getting a message about, okay, sorry. They're giving me a lot of stuff all really quickly right now, and I'm trying to stay focused on one thing and have like a linear thought, but that's just not how channeling works sometimes. And so they were saying, don't let something hold you back. But then with the 9 cats, or the cats with 9 lives, I was also getting something about like you have another chance at something, or you just have another life. You know what I mean? Like maybe I don't want to say wasted lives, but going back to like the video game metaphor. Okay, so this is not literal, but the video game metaphor, let's say you spent a few lives, like 1 or 2 lives, on repeating that level. And then you were able to advance or move forward through this portal, but now it's like you kind of have less lives. So it's not that you need to be more cautious. It's just you need to be more discerning, I guess, is the message here. Being a little bit more discerning with your time, specifically. Your time. Your time is valuable, I'm hearing. Don't give it away freely, they said. Okay. Yeah, they just keep saying invest it wisely. What's inside the barn? Okay, I'm thinking of like on farms, what are barns used for? Well, you either store your animals in there, or you store your crops and your food and stuff in there, or like the things that you've harvested. So maybe the barn here is going to be all of the things that you've been working to build. It's the harvest coming in. That's what it kind of feels like. Yeah, they did just say breakthrough. So there's going to be a breakthrough. And I think it's because you're listening to your intuition now and not letting curiosity get the better of you. Because there's a time to be curious, and there's a time to heed your intuition and not repeat old patterns, basically. I think that's the difference. Like curiosity can be a good thing, or it can be detrimental depending on how we're using it or how it's using us, right? So this is kind of what I'm seeing here. Group number 1. I saw 2333 on the recording time. So I can't get any information about what's inside the barn because they're telling me it's meant to be hidden until you get in there. But I think that it's going to be the fruits of your labors. You're going to get in that quote unquote barn, and you're going to see all of the efforts that you've invested, or you're going to see like a stockpile of things that you've been working on building up, qualities within yourself, or support that you need, or something like that, or opportunity. They just keep saying there's multiple opportunities, alternate options, you know? So things that you've been working to manifest specifically, they just said. And they said the high priest and the witch. So you've been working to manifest these things. Maybe it's something you've had on your vision board, or maybe it's something you've been saying affirmations about, or you've written down in a journal somewhere. It's like you had the idea for this a while ago, but you kind of got stuck on this level, got frustrated. Things felt, really stuck and trapped. But now there's this breakthrough and you're getting into the barn, or you're going to see what's in there. So let me know what's in there. What does this turn out to be for you? Are you there yet? Have you walked through the portal? Have you gone through the door? Are you just about to? Where are you at in this trajectory? Feel free to leave it in the comments below if you feel so called. If not, that's totally fine too, because I know that this is like a highly personal process that you're in. But you're not alone, because there's enough of a group of souls that Spirit had me sit down and do this reading. So you're not alone. There are many here right there with you, and we're all collectively breaking through because we're unified and we're going through these things, or oscillating. Our vibrations are kind of syncing up and moving to the next level to see the fruits of the labors. Okay, so that's the reading I have for you, group number 1. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that you embrace this new portal for your greatest and highest good. So it may be. All right, guys, I love you. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right. Hi, group number 2. Welcome to your reading. You actually chose the Sacred Portals deck. So this is going to be, I'm hearing multiple portals, or there's something. Hold on. Yeah, it does. It feels like there's multiple portals kind of all over the place. All right, you know what they just showed me? Because the energy they were giving me was like blah, 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 all over the place. And I'm like, whoa, okay, hold on. And then what they showed me was there's like this scene in, I can't remember which Doctor Strange it is, or if it's one of the Marvel movies or the Avengers. I can't remember. Yeah, I think it's one of the Avengers movies, but I can't remember. And there's this room that has these 3 doors in it, and they all lead to different locations. So it's kind of like they're like portals to different locations, and they can cycle and change. So it's like you're standing in this room. They're actually showing me a platform, like you're standing on this platform, and there's these 3, no, there's more than 3. It's like all around you. You know, when you go into a changing room and there's mirrors on all sides, and you're just standing in the middle and you can see all sides of you, and it's like you can kind of see into infinity. Yeah, this is what they're showing me. It's like an infinity portal. And they keep showing me the platform. Something about the platform is significant. I don't know why, but whatever you're standing on is significant. And then there's these infinite mirrors around you that are all portals, and they're constantly changing and shifting. Okay, what the heck? This is huge. Oh, I just heard Portal Master. Are you a Portal Master, group number 2? Have you learned to master opening and closing portals? I'm hearing access points. You have access codes. You've built a platform, something about a platform. Again, they keep saying that. And you have the codes, group number 2. And you can access all, or like you can turn it on to whatever you want. And it's yeah. I did just hear Portal Breaker. We haven't even gotten into the cards yet. Holy crap. Hold on. Portal Breaker. What do you mean, Portal Breaker? Okay, Spirit just said breaking down the portal requirements. Breaking down the portal requirements. So yeah, and they're telling me access codes. So maybe there were certain portals that they're saying that they were down. There were certain portals that were down, energetic doorways that were meant to be open, and they were infiltrated or they were closed. And they're saying anonymously. Is this like group number 2 is doing this anonymously, or the portals were closed anonymously? The portals were closed anonymously. It was something about covert. It was covert, anonymous. Agency, I'm hearing. What the heck? Okay, let me just, we'll figure it out, but this is what they're giving me. And something about you having these codes or this platform, it could be like a literal platform, like a social media platform, or yeah, because everything can be a portal. People are portals, because we all live in these sort of individualized subjective reality constructs, and then we co-create together, and there's all like layers and layers and layers to that. It could be like a physical place. I don't know. But you are the code breaker, the portal keeper, they're saying, and you're breaking the codes that falsely shut down the portals, and you're opening them up. And they're showing me this, the cycling of the portals. So like one door can become like 100 doors, and there's multiple there. That's why it's like it goes into infinity. It's almost like mathematical. Oh my God. Initiation. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Initiation. Group number 2, 444. I just saw that on the recording time. This is, the 4s remind me of the pillars. Like you are the pillar. Something about society. They just said society, pillar of society. Realm of the Fae. Look at how purple both of these cards are. Indigo, they said. Are these purple or blue? I'm red, green deficient. I'm colorblind. So I think to me it looks, they did say indigo. So I'll just say that. It's like indigo, purpley blue. Sure. That's third eye. That's third eye chakra. So these portals are in the mind, right? That's why they were showing me in the mirror. Okay. Yeah, imagination. So so maybe you are opening portals, giving people access to portals through your imagination. And by sharing that in some way through some kind of art, like literally there's like the door open here behind her and the light's shining through. So your imagination has the keys to these portals, group 2. And you're sharing them. I'm hearing disseminate. Yeah, you're disseminating the codes to access the imagination realm's portal making abilities. I'm hearing construct. You're able to construct portals, or you're able to, the construct is kind of like the system upon which things are built. And they're telling me something about society. So this isn't just like a portal that is opening for you, group 2. This is more like something that you're doing, a service, they just said, a service that you're doing at soul level for the collective. And it doesn't have to be a physical service. I mean like a service to the collective in the terms of like whatever you're doing here at the soul level, this job that you've got, this mission, this access point, code breaker, keeper, whatever, you are unlocking multiple things here. Infinite layers of the mind, they're telling me. Infinite layers of the mind. Choice, because it's like choosing how to use the mind. And it feels like collectively there were layers of the collective mind and collective imagination that were shut down. They said auto shutdown. Was that a protective mechanism, or was that... No, they said protection had nothing to do with it. It was an act of war. Like shutting down those layers of the mind within the collective unconscious of humanity limits the capacity to imagine more or different. It's kind of like thought policing, but not through verbiage or words or language, through the deeper layers of the subconscious collective mind. Holy shit. Whatever you hold, group number 2, is powerful because it's through your free will that you give access to thousands. I think some of you in group number 2 have platforms here online, or you will. Confirmation, goosebumps. 811 on the recording time. These are codes that you hold, and you're disseminating them. They just keep saying that, and it's through your your choice to use your imagination to connect to different realms too, like not just the 3D realm, but I think that you have access to multiple layers of different realms. They did just say inner earth, and that's kind of where the fairy realm, there's a bridge there. Well, you can access the fairy realm from many different dimensions, but the inner earth specifically they're bringing up for you, that could be something to do with the platform as well, like the physical nature. They're saying something about nature. Okay. Descend. And I was just saying, like, the inner earth, they were showing me inner earth and descending into the earth. The platform can like sink down and rise up. Okay. So group number 2, you have access to multiple layers of dimensions. Like you have the key codes to all of these different dimensions. And then what you're doing, whatever you're doing, it could be art, it could be, I don't know. This could be anything. It could be anything that you're doing. You could just talk to someone, and the way that you think, because you are the portal. You are the portal. And you are the access codes to open all these other portals. And you open people's minds. Whatever you're doing, however you're doing it, that's what you're doing. If you didn't know, now you know. Birth, this is what you were born for. And that is not an understatement, Spirit just said. And again, inner earth, she's like in the earth. So you're opening up these, they said base plate. Oh, the platform, the base plate. Right. That's connected to inner earth. Your earth star chakra, significant here. And below that, they said, below that. I don't even know the ones below that. Okay. Yeah, they're showing me the rainbow bridge. Like you can create bridges to different dimensions and access different layers of consciousness. It's all through the imagination. I've talked about this so many times here on the channel, that the imagination is a bridge. It is not just something that we come up with things in. It is a space. It is a dimension in and of itself. In the 4th dimension, it's the mental realm, the astral space, where we can, actually it goes beyond that. They're telling me it goes beyond that. But anyway, I'm trying to simplify it, and they're telling me it's like even more complicated. But the imagination is both a creative tool and a receptive tool. And those are just 2 sides of the same energy, two sides of the same polarity. And so I did just hear on the spectrum, rainbows on the spectrum of light and color. I mentioned that I'm colorblind in this reading too. So it's like you can tap into the frequencies. You can tap into the alternate frequencies because your mind works differently. Maybe even on the spectrum, like, I don't know, if you identify, or if you've had like diagnoses of something like that, it could be because your brain is meant to operate differently. From birth, it was like this. Because you operate at a higher dimension. And y'all know I have ADHD, possibly ADHD, I don't know, but ADHD for sure. And I always say attention dialed to a higher dimension. I don't know, I didn't coin that. I heard it somewhere, but I love it because it's like that. Your attention is dialed to a higher dimension. Your perception of time is altered. Your reality functions differently. Your needs are fundamentally different. And a lot of ADHD people are psychic. Like if you look around at the tarot readers here on YouTube, a lot of them, like a disproportionate amount of them, have some kind of mental difference, neurodivergence, because the brain needs to function differently to be able to channel higher levels of dimensional thought. It's not always the case, but those 2 correlate. Correlation is not causation, but they correlate. So I'll leave that there. Unknown. You're making things available that were previously not available, okay? And you can tap into this unknown imagination realm and call things into being and open up dimensions and bridge the gap between this world and the next and the next and the next and the next and the next. This is huge power. Ascend. As you continue to ascend, no, they're telling me I was going to go a completely different direction. And they said, no, this is to do with the ascension of humanity. So this is a very sort of collective reading here for you, group 2. This isn't, it's like not really about you. It is, but it's not, this isn't like, okay, you've opened a portal and there's a new job coming and you're going to have some money. Like, no. This is like, you are here to ascend the planet. That's what you incarnated for. That's why you were born. You knew this coming in. You are connected to multi-layers, multi-dimensions. Return. You may have even watched group number 1 for some of you, or if you felt called to group 1, this could be confirmation because we were talking about returns and like returning in group number 1. But anyway, group 2, like, you guys are the ascended masters walking the earth. You guys are like, you're on a mission. Yeah. And you may feel overwhelmed with that sometimes, or frustrated that you're different than other people, or that life doesn't function the same way for you as it does for others. But it's because you're operating on these multidimensional frequencies. It would be a lot easier if you could just operate at 3D and go la 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 through life, but that's not what you came here to do. That's not what you came here to do. So that, like, it would be easier, but that's not the point. And what you're doing is so big, it's so radical, it's so huge, it's so powerful that only you could do it. Now there's a select few of others who are doing this too, but it feels to me like there's going to be less people watching this group. I'm curious to see how many people click on this group. So if you picked group 2, can you put that in the comments below? I kind of want to do like a survey of how many people were drawn to this one versus the group 1 and 3, because I feel like there's going to be a smaller group in group 2, but I don't know how I would know that unless I got all the groups to put. See, now my scientific mind is like, how can we make the conditions equal and the variables quantifiable? But anyway, I feel like there's a smaller group of souls in group 2 because it's quite a powerful group. Yeah. And the sample, oh my God, now I'm going really down the rabbit hole into this like science stuff. There's spirits showing me like the sample size here would be a misrepresentation of the collective, because if there's like a lot of people that are drawn to group 2 here, and it looks like there's a lot of people in this group, it's actually not a lot in the grand scheme of things of the collective. So like you're like the 0.00001%, basically, is what Spirit's telling me. And it's because you have this designation. They just said the word designation. It's reminding me of Star Trek. Like, what is your designation? But that's what it is. Oh my God, they just showed me the holodeck. I'm such a Trekkie, okay, guys? Next gen, obviously. But yeah, the holodeck is a room that you can go into on the spaceship, on the Enterprise, and you can program it with whatever you want, and it will create an entire world. And this is how the imagination works. It is a creative force. You can literally create worlds out of it. You can create thought forms. You can create anything. Tulpas, they're saying tulpas. Yeah, it's like things that collectively we believe that become real in the astral. So we have to be careful with what we collectively imagine. And I think this is why some of the things were on auto shutdown. Some of it was a protective mechanism, but I still get this message from Spirit that no, like a lot of it was shut down as a control mechanism or control tool to limit humanity and their ability to co-create. I'm hearing brighter worlds, a brighter world. No, they said worlds, plural. Okay, anyway, back to the holodeck. So when you're in the holodeck, everything feels really real. You can interact with it. It's solid. But the second that you want to change the program, it will completely alter the space that you're in. So that's kind of what I'm seeing here, is that you have this power to be able to create worlds, and you kind of like usher other people into that, or you give them access to it, or you help them see that, you help initiate them, right? I wasn't even looking down at the cards. They said initiate, and then I remembered we have that card as the first card. Literally, first is initiation. You initiate other people into the depths of their imagination and the capacity that that has, the power that that truly has. It's not just like a fun, playful thing that kids like to, create games with or that we use to make art. No, 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 no. This is a tool and it's mega super powerful. And you can literally build worlds. You can create realities. Now they're showing me the movie Inception, where you can like build and fabricate a dream world. And like this is all a dream world, and there's dreams within dreams within dreams. Oh boy, group number 2. This this is intense. And there's like, you can go down into worlds, descend, and then you can go up into higher worlds. You can ascend. Like it goes in both directions. It's infinite spirals and cycles and transformations from mind to mind and co-creation to co-creation, universe to universe. Like this is, yeah, if you're not grounded with this can be crazy making. This is like, people got to be careful with this stuff because you might tip on the edge over into psychosis. You got to be real careful with this kind of level of mental power, which I think the reason I'm mentioning that is because you've had to be, they said past tense, you have had to be intentional and discerning with who you initiated. Your soul was in charge of all of this. So you may not have had awareness that this is what was going on or this is what you were doing, but your soul was very choosy about who they would let into this inner sanctum to give these access codes to be able to start world building or start portal opening and closing and transitioning through dimensions. Okay. So, cause like to the wrong person, the uninitiated one who's not ready to go through that, it would be too much. It would push them over the edge into the deep end. It's like you don't throw a toddler without their little floaty, they called them spirit wings. I was picturing like, those like little floaties that go on the arms. I don't know. I had those as a kid, and the spirit called them spirit wings. Okay. Like you don't throw a toddler, an uninitiated soul into the deep end because they will drown. You have to have those floaties at the very least, or you need to be a very strong swimmer. You need to be able to hold your breath. You need to be able to regulate your heart rate. Slow down, girl. And rhythm to be able to sustain the deep dives into the unknown, into the inner realms of the consciousness, of the mind, of the universe, because it's all within. And it goes out. It's both. Paradox. And so you've had to be very careful and discerning with who you gave access to these codes. They're showing me now, though, that the reason they brought you to this reading is not just to talk about this information, but that the portal that is opening for you, group number 2, is actually an access portal for many. And what this is doing is like, it's more, they're saying something about brand. Okay, a brand could be significant. A brand, I don't know what to make of that. Something about a brand, and but there's something about like it's more widely accessible. And this particular portal that you're giving access to people to is it is the initiation portal, and you've kind of gathered a group of souls together who are ready for this. And you're ushering them through this portal. And it's a big portal, very big. Like the way they're showing it to me, it's like the size of a house. Yeah. And you've got like hundreds of people going through this portal. So I really strongly feel that some of you in this group, if not many of you, have some kind of a platform where you speak to large groups of people. It doesn't have to be large as in thousands. It could be like 30 people, 100 people, 200 people, or it could be thousands or millions. I don't know. But there's an access point that you're giving to a larger group of people because the collective is now ready, because you've done a lot of this deeper, I'm hearing digressed, something about digressed work. They said digressed work. You did a bunch of digressed work. I don't know what that means. Can you give me more information, Spirit? They said digressed work is to pull at the threads of the unconscious ones. Oh my God. And they're showing me you going into the astrals I'm assuming at night, but this could be at any time because the soul is infinite and outside of time and space. You're going into the astrals and you're like pulling on the threads of the unconscious people that you find and starting to connect their minds back to the source. They're saying source code. You're waking people up, basically. Those who are ready, they said, the initiates, the sleeping ones. Right. And then they wake up, they start the ascension process, and you're like, okay, everybody who's now awake, if you are ready, grab your passport and let's go. Let's go through the portal. No, you don't need a passport to go through the portal. It's free. Passports are silly, really, in the physical reality. I don't like them. Anyway, I'm not going to go on a tangent about that. There's this free access that you're giving to the people that you have prepared, like you've pre-prepared. And there's hundreds of thousands of people that I'm seeing here. So whether or not you have a platform that reaches hundreds of thousands of people or not, you could be only talking to like one person in your real life, but you have access astrally to hundreds of thousands of people. And they're telling me self-care now. Okay, so this portal has been a lot of work for you. So they do want you to do some self-care. Group number 2, they just showed me the mushrooms here in the fairy card. Maybe there's something to do with mushrooms that helps you regulate yourself. Doesn't have to be magical kind, but it's like there's other kinds of adaptogenic mushrooms, whatever. But something about the mushrooms. When I connect to mushroom energy psychically, because I'm very much connected to the fairy realm myself, and the mushroom people are like protectors. They are guardians of the gate. That's why you see fairy rings and circles. It's like portal protectors. That's what they do. And I think that's what you do. You're like a mushroom guard, but a human in this lifetime. Maybe you even came from the fairy realm. Some of you, not all of you, they're saying. Some of you are from the stars. The fairy realm is in the stars too, but I won't go into all of that. Yeah, so anyway, you have this access point. You need to take care of yourself because you've been doing a lot of work. So what are you being recommended to do right now then? I'm hearing peaceful resolution and resolving to take care of yourself. That's all they want you to do, is just resolve to take care of yourself right now, because they wanted you to know how much work you've been doing at soul level in the astral. And so if you've been tired, or you've been faced with a lot, or if you've been going through initiations, or you've been descending and ascending and all across the map, if you've been going through these rebirth cycles, and some days are amazing and creative and expansive, and other days are heavy and dense and fearful, that is because you've been fluctuating through all of these different inner bandwidths of the collective mind, and you've been doing this astral reconnection project. And they're showing me all of these threads of all of these different people's minds and consciousnesses that you've been like combing through them and reconnecting and awakening and plugging them all back into the source code. Where they're meant to be is what Spirit just said, where they're meant to be. Nobody's meant to be cut off from the source. Oh yeah, under any circumstances. But that's what happened. So it's been a big project of reclamation. So make sure that you are giving yourself the permission to rest, to recuperate, to rejuvenate yourself, to play if you want to play, to imagine and create for yourself if you want to do that, to let yourself be free, to enjoy life, to whatever you want to do that feels most aligned with you at soul level. All right, so big ascension in the offing right now, group number 2. I think there's something else they're bringing through. Completion method, they said. Something about a completion method. Okay. We would like to share the completion method with group number 2. Okay. They're saying be kind to self and others. The kindness that you bring to the world is the access point. No matter how someone else treats you, you initiate them with your kindness and your choice to be of service through the highest order of love. The unified whole thanks you for your service. Your protective measures have been put in place and are effective for your children and your children's children. And if you don't, this is Siobhan back again. I was sort of like full channel there, but Siobhan butting in again. Hey guys, if you don't have children, the way that they were showing it to me as I was channeling that out was like the children of man, or the children of God, I should say more accurately. So it's like a race thing, and I mean human race, not color, because that's no. I mean like the human race. It's a blueprinters, Blu-rays. Just got that come through. Okay. So if you know, you know. But there's, yeah, so it's like this is humanity is like your child, you know? If you're part of those groups, humanity is an extension of, it's a creation of these races. It's a product of these races' creation. So there's a level of responsibility to take care of the people here, the souls that come here, that incarnate, that are born. Okay, is that everything, Spirit? Okay, no, they said no. Gentle caress, something about a gentle caress. They're saying something about a gentle, no, sorry, that was the first message. They said something about a capsule, almost like a time capsule, or they're showing me like a capsule, like that looks like a pill. Something about a capsule. I'm not sure what to make of that. The actual visual that they're showing me is like a yellow and red capsule. I've never actually seen one like that in person, but that's what they're showing me, is like this image of a red. It's like half red and half yellow, the capsule. That could be significant. It could have some kind of meaning to it. I don't know if that's like a code or something. Yes, they nodded their head and said code. Yes to code when I said that. Okay, so it's a code. Okay. Access point open. Granted. All right. They did just say 911 portal closing. If you know, you know. Okay, guys, this one was a very high level, for lack of a better way of putting it, high level reading. There was a lot of advanced spiritual knowledge and codes here. But if you're here, there's a reason, okay? So that is what I have for you today, group number 2. Thank you so much for being here. If you felt called to any of the other groups, feel free to check those out. If not, then thank you for spending your time with me and connecting today, and for being this high-level code breaker and portal creator here on Earth at this time. Much love and many blessings to you, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right. Hi, group number 3. Welcome to your reading. You chose the Moonology deck. So something about this portal could be being activated at the time of the lunar cycle, that whenever you're watching this reading. Specifically, I actually happen to be filming this on the night of the blue moon in Capricorn. So it's the second full moon in Capricorn. This is a timeless reading. Whenever you happen to find it, you happen to find it. But the lunar cycle is obviously significant, because I forgot until right this second that today is the full moon. That's significant, they said. Okay. Your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus energy coming up for you. The bull could be a significant symbol. I've been seeing bull synchronicities, and synchronicities about running with the bulls, like the running of the bulls, you know, like they do in Spain or wherever. And I kept getting messages about that. I wrote it in my synchronicities journal a couple days ago, and I forgot about it until right now, but they just said, look at the bull, and it reminded me of that again. So something about running of the bulls. Show the world the real you, full moon in Aquarius. Yeah, full moon energy is definitely significant because I mentioned tonight when I'm filming this is the full moon, and then you have 2 full moons here. Okay, let me just get the cards on the table. Yeah, no, there's some kind of resistance, okay? Because in group 1 and 2, the messages were channeling out really fast, abruptly, kind of all over the place, and really intense and fast. And with you guys, I'm feeling like it's a little slower, or it's like muddled, or it's a little pushed back in some way. I'm not sure why. Another full moon. Yeah, don't let pride get in your way with the full moon in Leo. So you could be needing a practical plan here about how to show yourself in a more confident way, but not letting pride stop you from showing up as the real authentic you. Or the opposite of pride, which is shame. Not letting shame distort your perception of self, or pride or ego distort it in the opposite direction. It's like there's 2 kind of sides of the spectrum, kind of feeling like solar plexus energy here. It could be overactive or underactive. You want to get it right in that sweet spot in the center where you're feeling confident, you're proud of yourself, but not prideful, and you are humble and yet, feeling high self-esteem and confident. So something about that here is what this portal is connected to. It's giving you access to more of yourself, I just heard. Okay, here we go. Now it's starting to channel through. I don't know why there was like a little bit of like pushback, or I wasn't getting it right away. That may be how you feel. The full moon may be interfering with that, because I know the full moons, for me especially, like I either receive a lot around full moons psychically, or they wipe me the heck out and I need to sleep. And I'm emotionally just like all over the place. It's like having PMS, but it's just the moon. So there could be interference coming from the full moons specifically, or you could be sensitive to the full moons. The full moons are portals for you, they just said. And look, you have another Leo, 2 lions. Confidence is your key to success, new moon in Leo. Yeah, I was just saying that, confidence. So the confidence is what's opening the portal here, or this is what the portal will require. They just said, oh, it's not what's open. It's what the portal requires of you is to be confident, to show yourself freely, I'm hearing. To show up freely. They corrected me, show up freely. A time to give rather than take. New moon in Virgo. The patterns here, full moon, full moon, full moon, new moon, new moon. It's the lunar cycles for you guys. I do want both of those. Okay, we'll come back to that in a second. The answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini. The end of a tough cycle approaches, full moon in Capricorn. Oh, that's tonight. That's the one I was mentioning. So this is the end of a tough cycle here, where you haven't had the answers. That's what I was feeling. It was like, so there was some kind of interference, and it was like, what's going on? I'm not getting the connection I usually get, or I'm not getting the information I usually get. And that may have laid down. Maybe you just need to lay down and rest. But I was going to say that may have given you, or resulted in you feeling, no, okay, now they're bringing stuff through and interrupting me because I heard a false sense of pride. Something may have humbled you, like trying to do something and then not being successful at it, or not doing it in the way that you intended. It may have humbled you. This may have been part of the tough cycle. But the portal that's opening for you is a result of you trusting the flow, or trusting this process, is what it feels like. Staying humble, they said. So this was like a test, group number 3 for you. If you were called to this group, you've been tested in your pride and your ego. And the lesson here was around how to stay humble, or the universe had to humble you in some way. And it wasn't punishment, Spirit's telling me. It was not punishment. It was to create equilibrium. They're showing me that balance needing to happen in the solar plexus, because sometimes the pendulum swings too far the other way. Like, let's say, for example, you had low self-esteem and shame and self-worth issues. Sometimes that can manifest the other direction too, where it's like, this is an extreme example, and I'm not saying that this is you or anyone in this group, but an extreme example of it is like a narcissist, where they have extremely low self-esteem at the core. They have an inverted black hole solar plexus chakra, but it shows up or manifests externally as this bravado and this massive maniacal ego or this grandiosity, So it's like the pendulum kind of swings both ways, or you may have been on one side of things and then tipped a little too far the other way, and then it's coming back into center again. It's just, they're saying it's the natural process of things for you. So you're like, I don't think anyone in this group is a narcissist. Let me just say that. I'm just saying, like, you've been fluctuating in your solar plexus chakra and your confidence. Okay, that's like basically what I'm trying to say here. Believe in the impossible blue moon. I did mention that tonight is the full moon in Capricorn, and it's a blue moon, and they're coming out back to back. You guys, you can't make this shit up. That's why I love doing readings and working with spirit, because they just bring through confirmation after confirmation. And everything I say in a reading, even if it's not exclusively channeled, is partially channeled, because if I'm saying it, I'm meant to be saying it, So, but I do like full on channel as well. Now, it feels like you've passed the test, group 3. You passed the humbleness test or the ego check. Like you checked yourself before you wrecked yourself, okay? And you're getting your due rewards out of that, because this portal that's opening is actually going to pump your ego up. They showed me a couple of flashes of things really quickly. They showed me Nike pumps, like when you used to like press on the thing to inflate the shoe. And then they showed me somebody pumping up an air, what are those things called? Like a floaty, like a water pool floaty. You're like it's going to pump you up. It's going to inflate you a little bit. And that's why it's kind of like you had to pass this humbleness test before whatever this breakthrough is, or this ending of the tough cycle, or this believing in the impossible. Like maybe it's something that you believed was impossible, but by showing up in the authentic expression of yourself and trusting yourself to move through this process and to, not let your ego win, I'm hearing, then they said you didn't give up. They said not giving up. That was the key to this. And it did require you to be humble to not give up. I'm hearing not taking failure at face value, not internalizing the failure, not making it about you and your personality or you as an individual, not internalizing the failure, and instead using it as a tool for growth. They're showing me a seed being planted, like it was an opportunity for growth, and being able to see it from that perspective not only humbled your ego, but also gave you this tool that is helping you to build your confidence. So it was a win-win. And through this confidence, you're stepping into the new cycle through the portal. And in that portal, you've got some great blessings coming, group number 3. I'm curious, what are these blessings? They said prosperity lies ahead. That's what I heard. Prosperity lies ahead. A new start is coming. So this is the new start. It's the prosperity that lies ahead for you, group 3. And they're saying that you can trust yourself not to get overinflated by any kind of huge success or something impossible that you've been trying to work toward, or that you were dreaming about but maybe never thought would happen. But it's like a once in a blue moon type of opportunity. Like I said, it's not a coincidence that I'm filming this on the blue moon. I was not intending to make a video today. I worked all weekend doing personal readings and members only readings, and I was tired and I was just on the couch watching TV, and then Spirit said, a portal is opening. And I got this immediate energy surge through my body, and I was like, I need to do a reading like right now. So here we are. So this is where you're going to be at. It's going to feel kind of like that is what they're showing me. Ooh, nothing is yet set in stone. And I saw 1111 right when I held the card up. That's the gateway. That's the activation. That's the portal. But nothing is set in stone. It's mutable, meaning that your influence on it from the mental level, because 1111 is an initiation code. It's all about what you're thinking. It's manifestation, instant manifestation, Spirit just said. So if you see 1111, be mindful of what you're thinking or what is being presented to you. It can be information incoming, or it can be drawing your attention to the information that you are outputting. But nothing is set in stone. So again, be humble about this, because if you get a big ego about it before it's already happened, then you're going to shut it down for yourself. Ooh, my throat chakra is going off. Hold on. Yeah, they're saying again, don't let pride get in your way. And they're saying follow your heart, not your head in this case, because your head is the one that's going to want to make, I don't know. It's like, ooh, look at me. I don't know. This is what human egos do. It's not anything about you or anyone in this group. We all have an ego. They just do this. This is what, and we, as spiritual beings, we can kind of look at that and just kind of laugh at the ego, like, ha ha ha. Egos will be egos. You know, they're gonna flaunt and strut their stuff. They're gonna think they're the shit. Like, that's just what the ego does. But as long as you don't let that rule you, you'll be fine. It's time to take action. New moon in Aries. So group number 3, this is the time to take action on some plans that you've been needing to set in stone, actually, is what Spirit just said. Something to do with service or something you want to build is kind of the energy they're giving me. But it may have felt impossible because you didn't know how to do it, or you lacked the confidence or the skills or something like that. Or it may just have felt like a pie in the sky dream, like a Delulu type thing. But there's a key in that. There's a reason you were shown that this was possible, or that you have this dream in the first place. And it's not impossible. It's just rare. And so you can do that. You can make it happen. It's not going to just plop into your lap, though. You've got to take some action to get to it, because that's what builds your confidence in yourself. Conclusions are within reach. Full moon eclipse. The eclipses could have been significant. So look at the most recent eclipses and feel into what that energy held for you, or look at the most recent eclipse. And if you keep journals, or if you put stuff in your calendar, look at what was happening around that time, because it could be connected to this. It feels like it's connected to this. A time for healing. Balsamic moon. That was the time for healing, they said. The lunar eclipse, the last lunar eclipse, you were doing a lot of healing work. And it was around confidence, is what they're saying here. Don't let your past hold you back. Don't let pride hold you back. Don't let your past hold you back. So, yeah, what is this? Your past, and on the, oh my God, on the bottom, the north node. So the south node and the north node, those are triggered through the eclipses. Yeah, the eclipses are really significant in this energy and in this portal. And it's been an ongoing process, is what Spirit is showing me. It's like there's been step by step by step by step by step energies that you had to work through, lessons you needed to learn about how to manage this energy, about how to build towards this physical thing. Because I think some of this is spiritual, and technically everything is spiritual, but I mean, like, some of this is third dimensional for you. There's fifth dimensional sides to it, but there's some of this is third dimensional in the sense that you're actually physically trying to do something here. And your past may have, I'm hearing lacked confidence. In the past, you may have lacked confidence and may not have felt good about doing something in a big, bold way, which is what Leo, the two predominant energies here of Leo, are calling you to do. August may be significant. The time I'm filming this reading, even though it's a timeless reading, is in July, end of July. We're moving into the heliacal rise of Sirius. We're moving into the Leo season, literally. Yeah, so there's something about that. Step out of your comfort zone. This is why it takes confidence, because you've got to trust yourself, or at least spirit, to be able to have the confidence, the cojones. What did I say in a previous reading and everybody loved it? Was the boobs. I was like trying to think of a female version of you got to have the balls to do it. And I was like, you got to have the boobs to do it. You got to have the boobs to put yourself out there, to show the world the real you, because this is where it feels like your prosperity lies. And it doesn't mean you have to be up there on stage unless that's what you're being called to do. But it just means like kind of being confident to be you. And I did just hear confident to be seen for who you are, I want to say, but they really just said confidence to be seen, whatever that means for you. But I'm kind of looking at it like, well, it's like unmasking, not hiding parts of yourself, showing the world the real you. It could be to do with how you dress, because now they're showing me something about outfits, like your outfits making you feel more confident. Maybe in the past you dressed a certain way and now you're starting to experiment with your attire, how you look. Or maybe this is going to be something that it may have been triggered around the eclipses or the upcoming eclipses, depending on when you're watching this or when the next ones are. I don't even know. But there's something about your clothing and how that portrays how you feel confident in yourself to dress or to look, and that's going to vary from person to person. For one person, wearing all black is like just like the peak confidence for them. For someone else, wearing all black might be hiding themselves, and being confident for them would be dressing in flamboyant colors or something else, right? So it's going to be a very subjective, it has been, actually, Spirit's correcting me, it has been a very subjective process here. But that's where the healing has been taking place. Because your past self and your future self, which you're moving into with the North Node, what you're here destined to become, the skills, the version of you, the personality traits I'm hearing that you're developing to become the success that you're meant to be in this life, whatever that means for you. And again, same thing as outfits, success is very subjective, because it's what makes us feel successful that is success, not some external thing. So you are harmonizing the past, the present, and the future, and moving into a time where you can truly believe in yourself to accomplish your goals, whatever those goals happen to be. It could be a state of being, it could be a business you want to grow, it could be a product you want to create, it could be somebody. I did see somebody on stage, so I used that example. Now they just showed that to me clairvoyantly. Somebody's up on stage giving a TED talk is what it looks like. Maybe that's been a dream and it just feels impossible, but there's a reason that this portal is opening to you, is because you've been doing the healing and doing the work and harmonizing and making adjustments and humbling yourself and checking yourself and continuing to evolve. And that is the process through which this will be accomplished. There will be more work, Spirit's telling me. There will be more work, okay? So it's not like this end of the tough cycle approaches and you go into this new start and it's like, boom, everything manifests and it's wonderful. And like every other tarot reader on the internet saying like, you're going to win the lottery tomorrow, your life is going to change. And then like nobody wins except for maybe one person wins like $2. It's not that simple. It's really not. But your life will change down the line. Tomorrow it might look the same, but you're going to feel different. And that's the key. You're going to feel different. You're going to start walking different. You're going to start talking different. You're going to start dressing different. You're feeling different on a daily basis, more consistently. And you might still have down days where you look in the mirror and go, I don't feel like I look as good today, or I feel as good today, even though looks don't even have to do with feeling, but you know what I mean. And that's fine. But overall, the consistency of your confidence will get stronger. It will anchor. It will feel more stable. And they're showing me the solar plexus, and it's strong. And the solar plexus is your personal power. It is the seat of your free will. It is your sovereignty. This is the unprogramming or deprogramming of the ego from controlling that free will. And it's been a big process, okay? It's been a big process. And it will be ongoing for the rest of your life. But it gets so much easier past this point. It's a checkpoint. This portal, this new start, this timing right now when you're watching this reading is the checkpoint. And so Spirit is congratulating you, but they don't want you to let it go to your head. They don't get a big head about it, but they are congratulating you. And you do deserve to be proud of yourself. To an extent. It's like you're basically learning to walk the middle path, group number 3. And that is a difficult but extremely rewarding thing to do. And there will be tangible rewards because they keep telling me prosperity lies ahead and success. So you will get there. One day at a time, they said. One day at a time. That keeps you humble too, right? Because if it happens too quickly, too fast, it would defeat the purpose of all the work that you've been doing, all the healing you've been doing. So it's got to happen gradually so that you can acclimate to it and not self-destruct in the process. The ego wants it all right now, fast, instant gratification, stick it in the microwave, then burn your tongue on it like it's cold in the center and lava, molten lava on the outside. That's not good enough for you, group number 3. That's not good enough for you. You deserve to put in the work to this fine culinary masterpiece that you are creating here and humbling yourself by maybe cutting yourself on the knife or, dropping some stuff on the ground or having to learn how to cut things or cook things in this metaphor of cooking. You deserve to do that for yourself. And the confidence and the skills that you're building are lifelong and irreplaceable. They're priceless, truly priceless. That's the success right there, because then you're the chef, you can create whatever you want. And as you get better, it won't even take that long. It won't take hours. It will take minutes. It won't take years. It will take days, they just said. But you got to get to that point first. And to get to that point, it takes years. Yeah. Ooh, all right. Group number 3, that is the reading. That is the portal. Powerful, powerful portal to success as a result of your confidence. All right, guys, so that is the reading. I will leave it there. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I sure did. Thank you to Spirit for prompting me with this inspiration, with these messages, and giving me the energy to sit down and do it after a long week. So lots of love to you guys, many blessings, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye.